as you all know, South County Toastmasters is not only the most successful club in the St. Louis area, maybe even the world. And if you, that's vim and vigor, right? We're not think big, huh? In fact, we were number 2 at one year. We absolutely were.
Yeah.
And if you would say, well, what are some of the reasons why we are one of the top clubs in the world? Well, there are 99 other reasons. Let me tell you one reason, and that's this. If you look at the screen, and most of the time you're actually going to be looking at the screen and really not looking at me. If you do a Google search and you put in Toastmasters, St. Louis, Missouri, South County Toastmasters used to be number 2, or used to be number 1. Now we're down to number 2. But I mean, that shows you, how much money people pay to be like the number 1 or number 2 search on Google. So we are right up there. So when people put in Toastmasters and St. Louis, we actually come up. So the internet is very important to the success of South County Toastmasters. And tonight I wanted to show you all some of the things that we do, and this is especially for the brand new people in the club. We've got a lot of people who have been here for less than 6 months, and there are a lot of things that we do that you probably don't even have any idea that we do. We use Turbobase as our sort of database for membership. And actually, probably everybody here needs to know at least the basics of Turbobase. So if you just go to turbobase.com and you sign in, there's a little login here up here. And you click on that. And you come to this page. And you'll fill in your email address and password. Well, probably for most of you, you'll say, what's my password? I got no idea. Well, believe it or not, when you first join the club, and probably Matt Ramshaw, our treasurer at the time, put you into the database, they actually sent you a password that's probably long been lost and forgotten, and you have no idea where it's at. No problem. You could actually go down to the bottom here, and down at the bottom it says generate a new password. So if you want to get a new password, put in your email address, and it will send you a new password. If you know as well as I do that passwords through email are terrible, you can actually go back up here and change your password. You could change it from something that they gave you to something that you want to use. Now, again, what I would suggest is that you probably start thinking about using Gmail or something along those lines, because we are having problems because we have over 50 members. And a lot of these other service providers don't like to send out emails to more than 40, 50 people at a time. Turbobase is sort of old. There is support. You could send an email to support@turbobase.com. Guess what they do? Nothing at all. Whoever set this up, set it up in 2004, and he hasn't done a thing since. I've written him a number of different times. I've tried to get him to change different things and add different features. He hasn't done a thing. It's free, though, so he really can't complain.
Tom?
Yes, sir.
I might be really stupid, but I've been trying to get it to save my password forever, and it never has.
Okay, here's what you need to do. In fact, this is my next slide. Passwords are very dangerous because you don't want the bad guys to get your passwords. So here's what I suggest. Go to LastPass, it's lastpass.com, and set up a password manager. Basically, you want to be able to have LastPass manage all of your passwords. That way, when I go to a new website, it automatically creates a 16-character, unbelievably complicated password that I never have to remember, but LastPass remembers it. All you have to do is remember one good password. It'll make it fairly long, but if you remember the one good password, LastPass will remember it all. And after that, then it will automatically log you in. You log into LastPass, and then you'll automatically log in. So once you've logged in, you can get to this main page here. And probably one of the first things you'd like to know, especially for the new people, are, well, who belongs to the club? Who are the members of the club? And so you can actually just click on this little members icon over here, and it will actually show you got active members, inactive members. We're going to look at the active members, and it will actually give you a list of all the different members in the club. And you can print this out. In fact, I was talking to Laurie, and we were trying to figure out who everybody was and if they're scheduled or not. And so one of the things I normally do is print out a list of all the members every couple of weeks, just so I know who belongs to the club, who's new, you know, if they're scheduled, we have all of that information there. Everyone has the opportunity to change your contact information. And I'm going to show you mine in particular. If you look over here, you'll say actions view or modified. Well, Matt or Laurie couldn't change Charles's information, but Charles could. The same thing with every person. So if I went down to Tom Terrific and I clicked on modify for Tom Terrific, I can actually change all of my contact information here. So if you do get a new email address or a new phone number, we need to know this. Turbobase is the way we talk to people. It's the way we email people. And we have to have current information. If you don't have current information there, then there's a good chance you're not going to get the information from the club. We also carry inactive members. And another sort of feature of Turbobase is you can't delete people. Believe it or not, there's no delete button. So once you're in the system, you're in there forever, which is not bad because we have anniversary parties every once in a while, and we invite some of these old people back here, back to the club, and back to visit. So you can actually see some of the old people that have been here. Some of these Z deleted are people that have actually taken out of the database that we know we don't want to invite back. I won't mention their names. And if you go back again, you can click under the meetings. See, if you look at meetings now, we've gone from members to meetings, and we go to schedule, you can actually see the schedule for the month. So again, if you are the Toastmaster, if you are like Laurie, you're doing table topics, you want to know who's scheduled. You can print this schedule out. You can actually go to this printable page, print that out. Also on our website, if you go to the schedule category, you can actually, I usually put the whole month together in one little page. That's an easier way to do that. But here in Turbobase, this is what the educational vice president uses to schedule people. And one of the neat things about this is that if you look here, there's a little thing that says email. And if you're the Toastmaster, you can actually click on that email link and send an email to all of the participants for that week, which is pretty neat. If you look here, it says send email to, and really you want to click this little button here. It says all active members, excuse me, that's wrong. All members with a role at the meeting. You want that to go out. So the 20 different people that are scheduled, if you click on this particular little button there, the schedule will go out to all of those people. And usually what I do is in the email message body up in here, you can put just a reminder about the meeting for the coming week. Please respond to the Toastmaster or the general evaluator if you're going to be there, and if not, who your replacement is. It's your responsibility to find a replacement. It's not their job. So this is a good way to stay in contact.
So if you're looking for a replacement for whatever particular reason, you just hit that all active member?
Well, that's one. No, we're going to do a different way. I'm going to show you a different way.
Right.
So this is basically how to contact the people who are having a role during that particular week. If you go back, again, this is like send an email to members. So that's basically what you want to do. You click on that. That's where you come to this page. And again, you want to click on all active members of the club. So all those inactive people, they're not going to get an email. Just put in your subject line an email message, and it goes to everybody. Again, this is why it's so important to have a good email address. And if you just carbon copy somebody from somebody else, well, if somebody has changed their email address in the meantime, they're not going to get the message. So this is a real easy way to do it. Again, unfortunately, the way Turbobase does it, they lump 50 email addresses all together in the 2 line. So unfortunately, they don't send a single one email to each different person, but that's just one of the problems with the system. Yeah, so that's basically Turbobase. There's basically, you got membership, you got schedule, you can send out emails. Any more questions about that? Yeah?
Can you show on the meeting edit screen how a Toastmaster can actually change the meeting participants? Do you have that screen open? In case they have to put in the role?
I can. I don't have that particular screen, but up here, if you look on this, like in the like Aaron would normally do this, or maybe even the Toastmaster if they had, You have to be an administrator to do certain things, and so everybody is not an administrator. If you find that you want to do something and you can't do it, then that's the problem. Actually, there's other things I'd love to talk about. I'd love to talk about our website. I'd love to talk about our little e-zine that we do, but I've run out of time. Maybe we'll do this for part 2. But again, hopefully you've learned something about Turbobase, and you can keep South County Toastmasters #1 in the world. Thank you.
Great job, Doc.